Hey guys, welcome back. It is time to get the Max Cape. If you're not familiar with Max Cape, it basically is available after you get at least 99 in every skill, which I've got. And you have to find a character called Max to buy it from. We're just hanging out at his bank because he tends to come back to this bank and do a little bit of stuff here every once in a while instead of having to chase him around. He does different skilling things here around Varrock, to show off that he's a 99. So he'll come in here and do some bank standing skills every once in a while, and hopefully he'll show up here really soon. Once he gets here, the cape costs $99,000 per skill that you have a 99 in, so it's like 2.5 million or something like that. So here he comes, right there, Max. It said sending trade offer. Nice cape you have there. Thanks, it's a symbol. I've trained all my skills to level 99. So have I. Indeed. Would you like a cape? 2.5 million. Woohoo. I'll take one. Thanks. Enjoy. So I've got mine, and we're going to try to equip them and do an emote together. So we'll see how that works. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! So that's the default cape. You can actually color it a whole lot. And the emote is actually a pretty complicated emote. So we're going to try to do it together. And probably be off, but we'll see. I smacked on top of hers, but it's supposed to use every single skill while you're working on it, and you'll notice some of the skills probably, but you basically make a little golem guy out of all the different skills, and I think it's a good 20-second emote. So let's try it a little bit over here. And I'm coordinating with Sharisha because we both got 99s at the same time. And not at the same time, we've been working on 99s, and I got my 99s I think a couple days before her, but I told her that I would wait for her to get the cape. So we got the cape together. Y'all probably seen her a few times in different videos. So I figured I'd go ahead and get my cape the same time she does and show it off together. So we're both the first 2 people in our clan to get the cape. We had a couple people who have joined that had the cape before they joined, but we're the only ones that have actually earned it in the clan. So that's it for now. Now I'll probably play with the coloring. You can actually design your cape and play with the colors. I think customize, you can choose 4 different colors for all the different pieces. So I'll probably try to see if I can match it closer to the cloak color, but still have to figure that all out. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all later. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Dracket. It's time now to go through and review all of the capes that I've gotten. I'm going to just do them in the order that I earned them, just because that makes it a little bit simpler than trying to go into order they were released or alphabetical or whatever. So these are the first ones, and then I've got the rest of them in here. They actually take up quite a bit of space because it's 2 spots per cape, so I had to clean out my bank just a little bit. It has been quite a while since I actually recorded the Max Cape part of this episode. As I've said in a previous video, I was having a hard time really deciding what to do next. And so after talking to some of my RuneScape friends and a couple other people and stuff, I finally decided that instead of going for 120 done and a couple more achievements on Dracket, that I would start a new character named Drac Aranth, and that I would do him as a kind of a even harder rule set than I do now. So basically, the rule set I've got at the moment is it's still being changed a little bit, but primarily no player trading directly with players or through the GE. I can't pick up drops from other players' kills, so if I don't kill it, I can't pick it up. Um, in my clan, I have to actually work my way up in ranks. I can't just, throw my new guy in a clan and be able to summon an avatar on his first day in the clan. Um, Also, another clan-related one is that I need to have at least level 50 in a skill for the Citadel before I can use a skill plot of that type. So, for the tree in the Citadel, I would have to be level 50 in wood cutting. The dungeoneering, I had decided it's a little bit not cheaty, but it makes it real simple to do some of those early levels. If you just hop and done, you can like train almost every skill without really doing the I guess the official or the original way of training that skill. So I'm putting a restriction that I have to have level 50 in all of my other skills before I can even go into dungeoneering. That will also make it harder for a couple things because there are some dungeoneering token things that are kind of nice to have, like the coal bag and the imp and stuff like that. Other thing, I can't share a divine location with other players, so that means I can't use someone else's divine location, nor have them use mine and be able to get noted items because they're using my spot. I cannot use the treasure chest function in the game. Can't get free keys or buy keys or anything for all the bonus experience, all the skills, outfits that they have, all that type of thing. And then the last one I have right now is that all the runes I use in Magic, I either have to make them myself in rune crafting, or I have to get them as drops from monsters. I cannot buy them, obviously, from players, nor can I buy them from the few shops that do sell runes. So that's it for now. As far as my rules, I will have my rules posted, and then also progress towards my max skills and the quest cape as I go. So I will be putting the character 100% on Twitch, and also have highlights on Twitch, and then in addition I will record some highlights probably for a weekly update on YouTube, mostly because I'm not real happy with the quality of the video that you get streaming Twitch through RuneScape right now. I don't know if it's just because when I'm testing I have a low viewer count, and so that's part of how they determine how much quality they use or what it is, but it certainly isn't very pretty. So I want to continue at least capturing some of the updates with my traditional Fraps program that I use, instead of just grabbing highlights off of Twitch and dragging them to YouTube. So I've babbled on enough about that. Hopefully y'all will join me for my new episode, my new series with my new character. But let's go ahead and do what the rest of this episode's about. Reviewing all the capes and decide, which ones I like, which ones I don't, and then maybe even vote for my overall favorite. See if I've changed my mind over the time of collecting all these capes about what I think and all that stuff too. So let's start with my very first one ever, which was a rune crafting one. Overall, I kind of like this cape. I really, when I first got this cape, really didn't understand what the little symbol is for. I don't know if that's the official symbol for rune crafting, but I guess it's a piece of rune essence being broken in half. I guess maybe that's how you officially use runes, as you break them, but it just doesn't show them. But didn't really like overall. And then the emote, I think the emote was, I guess, decent, other than just a tiny bit loud. I think some of the emotes have that problem Um, but what do you guys say? Now, compared to that, I really like the divination one. Like the color combinations. It's a pretty cool colors. And then also the symbols obviously looks like the divination thing. It's a little orb or whatever the gathering spots are called. And I don't know. Overall, between the two so far, I like this one the best. Next up is Hunter Cape. Hunter Cape, ugly color. I guess I don't really like the color at all, but I do like that the symbol, it makes it obvious to me anyways. It's about the Hunter quest. If we had like a Beastmaster or something like that in RuneScape, then you might get confused. But for the available skills, if I see this cape, I know it's Hunters. Next up, another kind of color-wise is woodcutting. Basic design. I like the tree on there. Maybe a tree with an axe would have been cool, but these earlier capes, you have to go with the way they were created, and I actually forgot to do emotes. So let's hop back. Divination emote. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Oh yeah, you turn into a little ball. That one's pretty cool. It's not the best, but certainly not the worst. Let's actually we need Hunter next. The Hunter one. Yeah, I like this one. Yes, killing creatures. That's what it's all about. And let's do the wood cutting real quick. Aw, poor little tree with the bird in it. Yeah, I rock. Okay, next up was fletching. So fletching cape, it's pretty cool. Just glancing at it, I would almost think it's for range or archery because it's got the arrows on it. But I guess fletching primarily, that's all you do is make bows and arrows. So maybe just put a bow and arrow would be the same problem. Color, I'm kind of like the green. Kind of a Robin Hood type of color type of thing. So I guess might be in it with that in mind. Secondary color gold. I'm not the most fan of that. It seems like we have a lot of capes that are trimmed with this real similar color sets, but overall it's okay. So far I think still divination I like. And as far as emote, the emote's good, but so far I really don't have a favorite. The divination one's okay. All of them have a pretty good job of representing the actual cape, I guess. Next up is fire making. This one, I'm really torn. I really like the bright orange, but then sometimes it's a little gaudy, but the picture is just kind of meh. It looks very, very, I don't know, just almost plain. And then also, because it just has a little three, they couldn't even do a more fancy fire drawing or anything. And then also, kind of real similar to the hunter cape as far as the form of the actual symbol, but at least I think so. As far as the emote goes, it's another one that's a little bit loud. Pyro, that's pretty cool. I mean, it almost could pass off though as some type of a wizard emote if people didn't know what it was coming from, because it just looks like you're got a little fireball on your hands. Next up, mining cape. Now this one, I wish the color was just a little bit different, but it's one of my favorite capes overall. One thing, I love mining. Another thing, it's a pretty rare cape, or at least it used to be, especially before LRC came out and the whole dropping ores to go up levels fast became pretty popular. Emotes, real basic. Probably certainly not my favorite emote. It's real basic emote. But as far as the cape itself, I used to wear this cape all the time. So I certainly, cape-wise, this one and Div are probably tied right now for favorite. This one more almost nostalgia, almost over the looks. I mean, it's to me, I kind of like it. It's just the color just is a little bit off. I don't even know if it's my computer options make the color look just kind of or what it is, but you get what you get. So next up is crafting. And I'm actually standing near the portal for um, clan portal, so I'm getting a lot of avatars showing up. Next up, crafting. Ah, this one here is another one that I'm not such a big fan of the picture, but I guess, a chisel and a little hammer or whatever, that's most of what you do with crafting, uses some of those tools. But color-wise, it's alright. I guess I like the color. It's not quite as bright and bold as some of the others, but it's definitely not an ugly color like some of the others either. I'd say overall it's kind of the middle of the pack. Emote-wise, yeah, making statues, which I don't know that I made a single statue, but hey, they have to make something, I guess. Next up is Cooking Cape. Cooking Cape, a lot of people like it for the color. I personally always thought this looked like potions or herbal or something because it looks like, whenever I first started playing, I would see this thing and I would think it was like a herb shop or a potion shop or something. But, a fish on a stick almost would be better, or fire with something on a spit over the top would be cool. Color wise though, I know a lot of people like this color. Purple's a pretty color. I mean, my clan colors have purple, so I can't really say anything negative about that. Overall, let's see what the emote looks like. Making pancakes, which I don't know that I ever made a pancake. Oh, and it magically turned into some type of mystery meat. Awesome. And now I've got a pie. I don't remember that emote very much. It's been a while since I used it. So emote, actually, I kind of like that one better than some of the other basic ones. But cape, I'd say it's towards the top of the pack as far as color. Simple, I'm not such a fan. Okay, next up is fishing. Fishing, actually, I like a lot. I like the color. It's a pretty color. It's obvious what it's for. The emote, I think it was a pretty decent emote too. Yep, I mean, everything about this says fishing. So I think so far, as far as meeting the expectation of a average player, I think fishing may actually be the top cape. Now, as far as difficulty to get and stuff, I think lots of people are fishing since it is available free to play and also spin around forever. So and real AFKable. Plus, it's a way to make money. So there's tons of reasons why fishing cape is pretty popular, I guess. But I don't know. I might surprise myself and put that above the other ones as far as overall design and stuff. So. But as far as my all-time favorite, probably won't make it because I'm just not big on fishing. Okay, next up is thieving. Let's see what the emote is for it. Oh, look at me, I'm sneaky and dumb because I lose all my money. So there's my thieving color. I mean, I like the mask. That's pretty cool. The color though, I mean, I don't know. I'd almost think it'd be cool to have like a black cape with the red symbol instead. I think that would have looked really nice. Um, I don't know, some other color choices. I mean, this one to me it looks a little faded. Like looks like I've washed it a whole lot. That I can't afford to get a real cape because all I've got is this one. So, um, eh. Overall, it's okay. I I would say still middle-ish to the pack. I like the symbol, but not the colors, so maybe lower to middle, but overall it's still not horrible. Next up is another cape that a lot of people like, just because of simple design, and I think this one, for hit points or constitution now it's called, I think this one as far as overall design is a pretty nice one. I would say this is in the top 3 or 4. The emote, it's a little bit different, but certainly if no one's seen it before, they might wonder what the heck you're doing. But so yeah, the emote. But I don't know how you would even do an emote for hit points. So I guess health, your skeleton and heart is okay, but yeah, it's kind of I don't know about that one. But color and stuff. I mean, this is a cool cape. I know a lot of people will wear it with a Santa hat or something and design all around this cape. So this has got to be in the top 3 or 4. Um, Certainly not my favorite. I mean, I honestly haven't worn it, since I got it probably, but certainly is a pretty cape overall. I'm going to take a quick break after this to swap out. I figure y'all don't want to watch while I try to figure out the order out of my chest. But so far, I would say, I don't know, I would say fishing's probably number 1, divination is probably second, and then HP is third out of the ones we've reviewed so far. Let's take a quick break. I'll be right back with the rest of the capes. Hey guys, welcome back. I've rearranged all my capes, and while I was working on the order, I realized I actually skipped 2. So construction and summoning, I believe it was after fishing and before, let's see, where was it? Yeah, after fishing and before thieving, I think is when I actually earned those. I don't know how I missed them when I was getting the first ones out, but obviously I did. So we'll review those real quick. First up is construction. So construction, the color is a little muted. The icon, I like it pretty good. It's, obviously the sawmill is a big part of construction. I did move locations for a little bit less traffic, but now I've got a building in the way, so let's move over here, see if that's better. Yeah, there we go. So the emote, I'm pretty good at emote overall. I would say in ranking, I don't know if quite makes top 10, but certainly better than average. I don't guess I really don't have any big, what I would do different for it. So I guess it's not horrible, but it's still, I don't think it's my favorite. Next up, summoning. It's a pretty good color. It's got another one with the icon that's easily noted if you know the skill, I guess. People might not know what the wolf is all about, but if you've done the skill, that's one of the early creatures, if not the first creature that you summon. And then I think this actual emote, yeah, it's got him in there again. And pretty cool emote, I guess. Overall, I'd say above average again. Don't hate it, don't love it. I think there's a few people that really like the summoning cape, and I know the construction cape is actually a harder cape to get because it requires a lot of work to get it done. So I don't know. I think overall, I guess maybe summoning's a little bit nicer than construction, but I still think they're going to be falling kind of the middle of the pack. Next up is the capes I got all together. There was 3 capes at once. My episode where I killed a chicken. So you've got the combat one: strength, attack, defense. In no particular order, we've got strength, attack, and defense. So I think if almost anyone looks at these 3 capes, they're going to say, dang, that strength cape is ugly. I don't know. It's Christmassy colors. I don't know if that's a good or bad. Yeah, I guess the icon is kind of all right. I guess looks like a little fist. Certainly got some strength going on with the emote. I don't think it's unrecognizable or anything, but just not my favorite at all. Same thing with attack. For what it is, I think it's better than the strength one. The color's not too bad, actually. It's probably not bottom, maybe middle as far as color goes. The animation, yeah, I can see it being attack. If there was any type of monk skill comes out later, they would have to change the animation. But for now, I would say it's probably definitely better than strength, but it's not in my top 10. Next is defense. This one is actually the combat capes. The pure combat capes is by far the nicest. I really like the classic colors. I like the blue and I like the shield. It's definitely, people see it, they know what it's for. The emote's good emote. Show some defending yourself with your shield. This one's got to be in my top 5. I would say it's probably just a hair behind fishing, which I'm surprised myself picking Ones that, if I had done this originally, I would have said, mining or divination would have been my top 1 and 2. So, man, defense though, I know some friends that are clan members that wear the defense cape a lot. It certainly is, one of the fan favorites. I think it's not super hard to get because it's, the combat skills. I mean, a lot of people get this cape, I'm sure, but it certainly is a cool looking cape. Next up is Slayer. Now, Slayer, I think, has got to be one of the fan favorites. A lot of people will try to get Slayer as a, I don't know, I guess their first cape, untrimmed cape or whatever. It's really pretty colors. The red and black with the skull with the stabbing knife in it. I mean, it's certainly one of the better cape colors and stuff. Where it falls short to me is the emote. I mean, if it had a better emote, I think this would be in a running above fishing for sure. But with that emote, I don't know. Just if you see that emote, I don't know. It's just like a little imp and stomping on it. I mean, to me, it just doesn't. I think the Slayer skill needs to have something cooler. Something, slaying a dragon. I think it'd be better to have you going and showing you talking to a taskmaster over that. So certainly the emote makes it drop a little bit, but it's obviously, it's got to be top 10. I think if I didn't put the Slayer cape in the top 10, someone would probably be sending me hate mail or something. So next up, agility. Least favorite skill ever for a lot of people. That's part of the reason why that feathers that you can train agility without actually doing agility is worth so much. I mean, people pay 28,000 gold just to not do 800 points in agility. But the cape, it's a pretty cool cape, I guess. I mean, the colors are nice. It's got the little guy on the back. Let's see what the emote. Yeah, the emote's, probably about average with what it does demonstrate what the cape is. As far as ranking though, I can't put it in my top 10. It may be just because I hate agility so much. It's the skill itself is so boring. But I guess if you're just judging the cape and stuff, I guess I can say it's number 11 just so I don't have to put it in my top 10. But it's a pretty good cape overall. I mean, I don't see a lot of people wearing it. It's really not a real popular cape, I don't think, as far as number of people getting it. But it is what it is. Magic cape, man. I guess if you toss this in with the combat skills, it's pretty cool looking. It's certainly better than the attack and strength capes. I like the classic kind of design overall. It's obvious, wizard hat what it is. The blue and white looks pretty nice. I remember the emote being pretty cool emote. Yep, pretty cool. I mean, not necessarily what most people do with magic. Maybe casting some fireballs or something would be cool too. But I gotta say this is, in my top 10, but probably closer to the bottom, maybe like 8, 7, somewhere in there. Next up is another one that's going to be in my top. No, wait, I skipped ranging. Next up is ranging. It's probably not going to be in my top 10. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a classic design. It's real recognizable. Now let's see what its emote is. Oh yeah, this emote's pretty cool too. I don't know. I guess I stand corrected. Maybe this will make my top 10, but it'll probably be in the bottom part of it. It's got the classic green for Robin Hood. It's got the bow and arrow on the back. I mean, if you're looking at overall what it's designed to do, I think you got to put this up higher because it does both. The emote shows off the skill. The cape shows off what you think of when you think about ranging. Especially with it being an English-based company, going for the Robin Hood type of colors is definitely a plus, I think, for them. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, probably top 10 still, maybe lower. Man, I'm getting a lot of stuff in the top 10 I wasn't expecting, but probably maybe 8 or 9, somewhere in there. Next up, another one I expect to be in the top 10, the Prayer Cape. This one here is a real pretty classic design. Again, simple. I don't know, maybe I just like the white and I think I've got 3 capes probably. My type 10 are just like white with another, it's accent color, the HP cape, the magic cape, now this one. But once again, people know when they see this cape, hey, that's the prayer cape. It's pretty recognizable for players. The emotes are pretty good. Praying with the little wings. It definitely looks like prayer. I mean, maybe an altar with bones is probably closer to what a lot of people actually do with prayer. But I guess one downside of this, it's probably one of the capes that a lot of people just buy. But overall, I'd say it's probably in my top 5 easy because it certainly meets all of its requirements. It's a pretty cape, good design. It's got a good emote, so might surprise myself and stick this up above some of my traditional favorite ones as far as for me wearing them. Next up, smithing. We go from a couple capes in a row that will be in the top 10, and dang if this isn't one of the ugliest capes ever. Uh, the color, I don't know. Think you could have come up with better colors for smithing. I don't even know. I mean, earth brown would be almost good, or rust, iron rusty, or I don't know what the idea was. I don't know if it's not quite the color of rune. Maybe that would have been prettier if it had done like the rune armor color, but I guess it would have too many people would have complained because it too matchy with the rune armor. But I don't know. The emote saves it from being probably dead last. I hadn't really thought about what would be the worst cape. I'll have to try to think of that. Go back and look in my pink vault and decide at the end which one's the worst. But I don't know. This one's got to be close. I think the emote might save it from being the worst cape ever. But as far as the skill, though, I like smithing because it goes with, um, with mining, which is one of my favorite skills to do. Next up, Herblore, another cape that's commonly bought. It's easy to get the materials from other players. I think overall the design is pretty good. It's a pretty good indication of the skill. Pretty popular. The color set's nice. I believe the emote's pretty good too. Yeah, mixing stuff up in a mortar and pestle. Little super fancy potion. So yeah, I think this has got to be in the top 10. It might just barely be 10, maybe number 9 or 10, but it's got to be in there. Next up, Dungeoneering. Ooh, this is one that's probably in the running for the ugliest. The icon probably is the only thing that saves it from the ugliest. It's a pretty cool icon. Color-wise, just not a fan. And I remember the emote not being, yeah, I mean, the emote's alright. I mean, I don't know if that melee gear is a fancy dungeoneering gear. I've never really been into, how my character looks as far as gear, other than probably cape is about as far as I've gone since I've started getting capes. And even then, probably clan cape is what I wear more than anything else. Uh, yeah, dang, this might be in the running for ugliest still, even with the icon being pretty, because it's certainly not the emote. I didn't much care for it. And then I guess next up, last but not least, is farming. It definitely is one of those skills that you have to remember to work on it all the time. You can't just sit down and grind farming for a week and be done with it, because you have all the time between. So uh, skill wise, kind of a harder skill to get up. There's probably not a super ton lot of farming, with it being members too, probably cuts out the count. I think the emote's pretty cool. Yeah, it's watering flowers. Not that I did a lot of flowers as a farmer, but I think this has got to be in the top 10 too, just because it's, pretty good design color-wise. Watering can, people knows what it is. The emote, it's a good emote. Um, yeah, I think overall top 10, maybe 10th actually, but it in Herblore, it's toss up. They're real similar too. I don't know. Probably, I think maybe farming just barely edges out Herblore, but they're, I could almost say they're tied for ninth or something. But uh, eh, we'll see. So those are those capes. So overall, picking the top 10. Let me see. Um, okay, man, I'm kind of surprised thinking this over. My number one's gonna have to be fishing, I guess, because when I was going back through it, that just really speaks for the skill. The design is cool. The overall emotes, indicative of the skill. I think all around fishing's got to be number one. I'm really surprised. I really, if I before I recorded and went through these, I would have thought I would have ended up with divination or mining for sure. So uh, here we go with our top 10 from their impression and then what I remember. First fishing, probably defense second, prayer then slayer, and then divination after that. Then I've got a few other ones that kind of look similar to HP and magic. Let me throw mining in between there. HP, then mining, then magic. Just because I like mining so much. I hate for it to get knocked down, but its emote should almost drag it out of the top 10. But it does show its skill, but it is real basic. Um, See, ranging probably next, then farming, and then herbivore. We can even say they're tied for ninth if we want. And then worst cape, man, I'm gonna have to go back and look. What's the worst cape? Man, Dungeoneering's got to be in there. Hunter didn't particularly like the colors. I'm going through and looking at the other ones. Crafting was kind of boring. Man, I don't know. I think the worst cape's gonna have to be uh, Dungeoneering or smithing. So I say they're tied for last because both of those capes, I'm just not very impressed with them. Dungeoneering, you'd think they would have done a little bit better since that was the first one they did the true max skill. And I think the max one's not much different than this one. So last cape, though, to review, go back and look again at the max cape. So max cape once more. I mean, obviously this has got to be the number one cape for the skills because this is your max cape. It can't be less than the others. It's got like a freaking 30-second animation. It's so customizable. I mean, I've seen people with the max cape uh, some really pretty color combinations because I mean it is very open, but it isn't very user friendly. I mean, you had to like pick a color in here and go down. I mean, I think it would be a little bit better if people could you know I think something they're probably going to do at some point, be able to pull a color off of another item and pick it, to help with color coordination, or actually be able to put the RGB values in a pop-up box. Some easier way of picking your design would, I think, pretty helpful. But I have seen some people who obviously spent a lot of time on their cape picking out their colors, or got really lucky because they look pretty cool. So this has got to be the number one cape, but uh, I personally haven't worn it hardly at all. It's been a little while since I got my max cape. It's just I've been dragging my feet making this episode because I was trying to decide what to do next, and are finishing this episode. I recorded the first part, probably over a couple months ago now. Um, and it's just been so hard to decide what to do, and so I kind of gave it a little bit of disservice to Max Cape, but it certainly is a neat cape to be working towards. It's obviously one that a lot of people will wear because they're proud of it. Only thing that can really top it is the comp cape. I think it adds a little prettier effects to it and stuff, but it certainly is a nice cape. I keep on telling myself I'm gonna go and work on my colors to make it match my clan cape better. Just never got around to it. I do tend to wear my clan cape pretty much all the time. I designed it. I like the way it looks, and you gotta go with represent your clan, I guess, if you're a clan owner. I will have to come up with a new look though for my other guy because won't be able to wear this mask because it's for the treasure hunter. But I'm sure he'll be sporting my clan cape a lot, and it'll be a while before he can have any of this gear because I think this dragon royal dragon hide is probably pretty high up in crafting uh, to make it. So, or even, you know, I'll have to get the hides for it too. So it'll be a while before I have real pretty gear, and I think maybe that might make me care a little bit more about gear where I'm getting it all myself and a little bit more limited on my choices. So we'll see, how my new guy, what he looks like. But yeah, I can almost guarantee for a while he'll be wearing the clan cape. Maybe I'll, anytime I get a like all skills level 10 or something type of cape, I'll wear that for a week or something. We'll figure it out. But thanks for watching, guys. I've babbled a little bit with this episode. I apologize. I've really enjoyed reviewing all these capes. I mean, I completely forgot some of the emotes and how some of them looked. Surprised myself on the colors and stuff, but are the choices of my top 10. But if you have any comments about my choices or think I'm just dumb for my picks, feel free to leave a comment and tell me all about it. Please like my episode if you like it. Subscribe if you want to be notified of any new episodes I release, and look forward to my new series starring Dracaranth and my quest for Max Cape, Comp Cape, all those fun things. I'm going to just get him as far as I can go. So I don't know that there's anything that I won't try probably other than maybe soloing some of those top end guys that I don't know that very many players can solo, and I'm certainly don't have the mad skills to be trying to like solo next or something. So I'll have to decide if he just can't get that gear or if I am allowed to go with a party once I get to that point, but it would have to be, maybe a random party to make it suck a little bit instead of, being able to pick a couple clannies or something. But I'll figure that out, later. It's a long time before I'll be going and doing next or anything. So, but thanks for watching, guys, and really appreciate your views, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. For the next couple seconds or so, probably less than a minute, I'm going to have some little clips of a few different people with their max cape and how they decorated it and stuff, just because I think it's kind of cool, highlighting other people's stuff, because obviously I've not spent the time to make mine look pretty, so I figure we'll show off a couple other people's.